The Guru is live with why clients change their agents.
Good morning. I'll tell you, mornings are so interesting with all the technology. You think the night before you have everything set up, and you get up in the morning and you got passwords, you got logins, and everything changes, which is great for this morning because the topic is why do clients change agents? Well, because there's a lot of moving parts. You never know really what's going on until you have the relationship carved out and you are more secure with a trusted, credible relationship. You don't know what's going to change, when it's going to change. And let's remember, the client is looking for a great fit. And you need to be looking for a great fit as well. We're going to take this fit thing apart and figure out why clients change and why maybe sometimes you need to be looking at changing as well right after this.
So, Rod, how can a cup of coffee improve my career in real estate?
Well, one cup of coffee is how we start our mornings, and it's not a stranger in real estate. We have coffee with our clients all the time. Even bigger than that, we can sit down with one cup of coffee, talk about your goals, make your business bigger, and push you to heights that you can't even believe.
That's right. And I'll tell you, working for Rod and I, you can be pushed because he's a workhorse.
I love real estate, and I want to share my passion with building your career in real estate as soon as we can pour the next cup of coffee.
So how about a cup of coffee with us?
I look forward to having a cup of coffee with you and having a discussion of a career change as soon as possible.
Thank you. Hey, the Guru is back with clients are testing for a good fit.
I'll tell you, I love the topic of why clients change agents because there are so many reasons. People like to boil it down to one thing all the time. It's like, oh, it's a stupid client. No, that is, well, there are people that maybe are challenged sometimes. I would love to hear from you in your comments on this. Why do clients change agents? I've shown you 50 homes and you're out there changing on me. Why are you changing? Well, maybe there's a reason they changed agents and you weren't keeping your eye on the ball. If you've shown someone 50 homes, particularly in this seller's market, you're showing them a ton of places. Something doesn't feel dialed in. Something isn't right. Now, the something not right may not be you. It may not be you at all. Or I hate to say this, and here come the comments, it might be you. It also might be the client. How about this? It's just not a good fit. And clients are they are testing for a good fit. You need to be testing for that perfect fit. You ever put on a pair of shoes and said to yourself, they fit? And the person will say, oh, are you going to buy those? Are these the ones? And you walk around the sales room floor and you're thinking, well, they're long enough. They seem to pinch on the corner a little bit. You think that'll eventually expand a little? You think that's going to change? Well, you know what? It depends. It depends on the structure of the shoe. And can that part of the shoe actually change and stretch over time? Some parts of the structure of the shoe aren't going to change. Some parts of the structure of the relationship that you have with the client aren't going to change because it's who you are and it's who they are. And you need to understand who your client actually is and what they're looking for, because they're looking for a great fit. And there's a core reason why they're looking for a great fit. This is the largest asset of their life. It's the home they're going to raise their family in. It's the home they're retiring in. This is a huge asset to the family, and you are being looked at as the possibility, the conditional one that gets to interact with them with either the purchase, the sale, or maybe even both. Okay, let's slow down a little bit this morning. I can get wound up about this topic because agents come into me as a brokerage owner and say, oh, why did they leave me? Let's have a cup of coffee this morning. All right. My first thing I always say to my agents is, well, okay, your client left you after you've shown them, 25, 30 homes. Maybe I should recap that. In the seller's market, you've shown them 4 homes because there's just nothing to show them anymore. And it takes time to find something to show people. Okay, anyway, you've shown them quite a few homes and they moved on, and you called them up and you get this magic phone call from them, a conversation with them that says the following: oh, don't worry about it, John. I have another agent to help me find the perfect home. Oh, that just stabs you right in the heart. You thought you had a client. You thought you were following up, and you thought you had a fit. Well, how do we know when we actually have a fit? How do you know when you got a pair of shoes that's actually fitting for you really, really well? Well, you got to get to know your client. You have to have a get to know them meeting with the client. Now, what happens at a get to know you meeting? This does not have to happen at the old-fashioned office. We used to meet everybody. We'd invite them over to the office. We'd make a cup of coffee. We'd have some treats, and we would get to know them. Well, the same thing still applies today. The same aspects are still at play because relationships are still a for real living entity. They haven't died off. They weren't killed by the coronavirus. COVID-19 didn't come in and just say, okay, all this character stuff, it's out the window. No, character is at play. Unlike, I'm a lawyer. Unlike in law, where character, you can't hardly ever bring it in as evidence. It's very difficult. In this kind of relationship, character evidence is everything. You've got to know your people. You've got to know who you're dealing with, and they need to know who they're dealing with. So you have to reveal something. Now, the getting to know you meeting is critical. Now, it may not happen in the old-fashioned way of going to an office. You may go to Starbucks and sit down. You may go to a restaurant, invite them out. It might be in an empty house where you're simply saying, hey, let's have a chat here. Wherever the chat happens, you need to learn a few critical things that help this relationship go deeper so you can find out, does the shoe fit? And part of that going deeper is, of course, you're going to say, well, what are you looking for? You said you wanted a 3-bedroom house, and this is a 3-bedroom house, but you don't like it. Oh, you need 10 acres. Oh, you need a pond. Oh, you need to be in a particular school district. Now I understand more. By the way, what's the name of your children? What's the name of your spouse? What's the name of your parents that happen to be with you? You want to know these people. This is part of fit, is you knowing the people and knowing something about them, and more than just the basic, they're looking for 3 bedrooms. So you have to ask questions. And you want to ask open-ended questions. It's not that question of, isn't it true that, and they're going to say yes or no. No, that's a closed-ended question. You want to open-ended questions of, tell me about the style of home you're really wanting to live in. If you could pick something that was a magical home for you, please tell me about that style of home. What would that style of home actually end up looking like to you? Well, this is beautiful. Then you can start to show them sample services that you are aligned with. You can start to show them how you yourself have credentials within that area and experiences in helping them find exactly these kind of homes. And if not, by the way, maybe, just maybe, it's not. Let's break that down real quick. after they tell you what they're looking for, and they tell you they're looking for 10 acres with a pond and a well and all these things in a 3-bedroom house, maybe that's just not something you typically do, and you need to refer it to somebody. Maybe there's someone in your office that you can refer this to. That's okay. You want a best fit. Otherwise, you're going to have a bad experience. And I'll tell you, you know what's worse than having a client that just leaves you? It's a bad experience at the end and having the client complain on social media about you. You don't want that. That's horrible. It'll make you not only feel bad, but you will lose business because of it. All right, time for another sip of coffee here. Okay. Slowing down here a little bit now. Maybe it's time to show or ask about a variety of other amenities that might be available. Sometimes we have to bring reality to our client. You know, the client might be saying, I want a 3-bedroom house. I want it in this particular school district. I want at least 2.5 baths. They want all these things, and they have $225,000 to spend. And you're saying, I haven't seen a house for $225,000 in that school district in 10 years. There isn't anything available. There's nothing coming up. If it was a tear down, the lot itself might go for $2.25. Well, at that point, it's time to bring your client up to speed. There's an educational component here that sometimes we have to go through. And if that means that the client doesn't fit, that's okay, because you'll be chasing a ghost. You're out there chasing something that doesn't exist at all, and they're constantly saying, well, we're looking for something else. Remember, I mentioned to you this thing, and you're thinking, that thing doesn't exist in the market. I'm showing you everything there is. Let me refer you to somebody else. And if you don't have anybody to refer them to that's credible, just say, we're not a good fit. Because sometimes that is true. Why do clients move on? It's mostly because they don't think they're being heard. Listen to this. They don't think they're being heard. You never took time to listen. And I'm talking about active listening. Active listening is that type of listening where you're repeating what they're saying and you're having this active conversation and you are internalizing the needs of the client and you're giving them back professional information, professional market information that you know you are a professional in this market. Well, sometimes that advice going back can be difficult because sometimes you are simply determining the fit. You're determining whether this is actually going to move forward. All right, another sip of coffee this morning. We got to keep the coffee flowing. All right, drinking the Black Rifle coffee this morning. By the way, I would love it if you'd make a comment about, we've all had clients that have moved on. If you have never had a client move on, I'd love to hear that, of course. But we've all had clients that we've shown some homes to, and they just ghosted us. They just moved on. Maybe we didn't make that relationship. Maybe we didn't, it just wasn't a fit somehow for them, or they couldn't see the fit. I would love to hear from you in comments about how do you shore up this problem? Because clients, we're all in the business together. We all want clients. Of course we do. And until you've got a business that's large enough that you are living a referral business, which is the quintessential key business to ever get to, because at that point you are being preferred by past clients, and now It's on the other side where you are being preferred for someone to speak with you. Until you get to that level, you are always fighting for a client. And that is the 98% of the agents that are out there. You're fighting for another client. Well, okay. So that means we have to find relationship and fit. And there's many parts to this relationship and fit thing. However, that doesn't mean it can't be done. That doesn't mean that we can't find reasonableness. It doesn't mean we can't pull the relationship together. It doesn't mean we can't find the right shoe. Of course we can. That's our business. But we have to reveal things. To make the relationship actually happen, we have to be vulnerable. We have to put ourselves out there. We have to, of course, show our credentials, but don't go bragging about your credentials. It's not about that. And I did a show just recently about, do you have the right credentials? But you also have to show something personal, doing a personal story about yourself to the client. You know, did you grow up in the area? Did you go to that school district? Do you have children or cousins going to that school district? These are ones that attach you to somebody brand new. They don't know you, and you don't know them. It also opens the door for them to tell you a story, because you tell a story, of course, the other side now feels that they can honor it by telling their story. And that is huge. And you want to pay close attention as to the elements and what's going on, so that later you can mention it. Oh, that's like the story you told me over here. Because that shows you listened, and now you're making that relationship part of you. Okay, another sip of coffee this morning. Something you have to ask yourself is the client being reasonable? You also have to ask that of yourself. But hopefully you've gotten that settled. Is the client actually being reasonable with their requests? We talked about the price problem, but there's other issues going on that the client may not be reasonable with. You know, they may be looking for something that 3 generations a family can live in one home, and they're looking for a 6,000 square foot home, and they have $400,000 to spend in a particular school district or a zip code, and it just doesn't exist. And it's never going to exist in the ongoing life that you have. Well, you need to reveal, and how you can reveal this without being insulting is pretty easy. You pull up all the data. You pull up everything and ask them, what do they see? How do they interpret the data? At some point, they're going to admit it doesn't exist. And maybe they need to look in other zip codes, other school districts, other cities. If that's what they continually want, that's okay. Moving on sometimes is the best you can do, because nobody wants to take time to show somebody 50 homes and then not have a sale. All the gas, all the time, all the anguish, all the research you have put out there as a professional, to have it all go over the cliff is not a good feeling. Every one of us that have been in this business any amount of time have had this happen. You absolutely have had it happen, and it's not a good feeling. This business is not just a game. It is a for real career that people are reliant upon. They are coming to you to fulfill a need, and be satisfied with a need that they're searching for. And most of the time, what I have found is when they come to me and they say, I'm looking for this criteria, and I say, well, that criteria doesn't exactly exist, but this other criteria does. Once you bring them up to speed, They're usually satisfied with the data and the knowledge because you as a professional have demonstrated it to them as you are carving out the fit of the relationship. They may have already been to 5 and even 10 other agents. As people shop around, while it's often thought of that people have no loyalty, I have found that people have a lot of loyalty if you are giving value in the relationship and showing that you are transparent and you don't have what we like to call commission breath. I know. I'm probably gonna get comments on this. The whole commission breath thing. Well, that means all you want to do is a sale and you don't care about the people. You have to show that you care about the people. That's what they're actually looking. Why do you think they're going agent to agent to agent? They don't think anybody cares, and you're nothing more than, a convenience store salesperson that they walk into to get a candy bar and have no relationship. They throw $1 on the counter and they walk out. That's not what a house represents. A house represents a relationship, a deeper relationship. They are looking for a particular flavor. Think about this of ice cream. They're looking for a particular flavor of ice cream. And if you don't have it, they're going to be disappointed. When you go into 31 flavors and they don't have chocolate chunk and you're looking for chocolate chunk, you're moving on. You don't want cherry chip. You're looking for a particular flavor of ice cream. They are looking for a particular flavor of relationship. It's always relationship that will save you in this business. It's always relationship that will ultimately make the fit. You're looking, remember, at fit. How well did the shoes fit? How well does the client fit with you and what you do? You need to recognize up front, if the client doesn't fit real well, find someone that fits for them. You can still be the savior for them in saying, look, I have this person. You're looking for properties of at least 5 acres in rural areas, and my practice is downtown doing condos. I'm not going to just, bend myself and do something I don't normally do. I'm going to refer you to someone, a colleague that does this all the time. You will be looked at as a hero, and make sure they've got cards because they will remember this wonderful handoff. And certainly your colleague you hand it off to will remember it as well. Remember, this business is a network of people that know each other. It's not huge. Well, people say, well, there's thousands of realtors. Yeah, well, there's not so many of us that actually do the business and do it well. And we all, even in large metro areas, we all know each other. And you need to respect the people and what they're doing in the niche they have carved out and taken time to educate themselves about their niche and then respect it and do a referral over to them. And they will, in the long term, refer back to you and help you grow your business larger than ever imagined. By the way, take a moment, hit the like button on the show. If this kind of content is helping you grow your business larger than ever imagined, take a moment, hit the like button. That tells me that you are looking for more content to help you grow your business larger than ever imagined. Also, over in YouTube, and the link is right down here in the banner, over in YouTube, hit the subscribe button. The subscribe button will open up the Guru members only events, which we dig in deeper to grow your business. If you're real serious about growing your business, you'll do 2 things. Pay close attention. You'll do 2 things. Number 1 is you'll hit the subscribe button so we can dig in deeper. Costs you nothing. The next one is right down here in the banner also is our Kickstarter program. Go and take a look at our Kickstarter program. We have a money back guarantee on our one-on-one coaching programs. We have a money back guarantee on our course. These things will build your business larger than ever before. It goes through things like how to make a relationship work and make it fit, and how to take a lead into a client, into a relationship, into a sale, into a referral business, growing your business rapidly. And that's exactly what we are aimed at, is growing your business not only rapidly, but larger than ever imagined. This is Real Estate Daily. I'm your real estate guru, and I look forward to helping you grow your business larger than ever imagined. And I'll talk to you tomorrow.